All right, everyone, welcome back to another video on Kaiju No. 8 the game. My name is DFree, and we got an announcement early today. I was busy with family, stuff like that. My house is also very hectic earlier with two kindergarten, first grade kids. Yeah. And then sometimes I got to wait for my daughter to go down. She's autistic, speech delayed, and so she's quite a handful. So we got that announcement earlier, and my initial thought was, oh my God, they're going to release another character. Because here's the deal. Really, conceptually, it's not bad. It's not wrong. To release two characters in a month is fine. That's like typically a standard thing. It's just wonky to say, oh, we're going to go literally 3 weeks, because that's what they did. They went literally 20 days. So basically 3 weeks to the day without a release of characters between the limited gacha banner and Narumi. So the limited gacha banner ran for that entire, or not limited, the dual festivals, with Kikaru and Chester, ran that entire time until Narumi replaced them and they expired. That was actually pretty good. I've got to say, I thought that was pretty good. If they want to update every 3 weeks, I think people would mostly be happy with that. The first month of this game, as we are approaching month 3, we're ending month 2. The first month of this game was mired with controversy. Is that the right word? Mired? With controversy because they released so many freaking gachas, and that is indefensible. So I was in that period very critical of several things. I was very critical of the stamina system. I still am very critical of it, it's very vindicating for me because I see a lot of people coming around to my side of it. When I initially said it, I was met with a lot of pushback. Oh, the game refreshes fast. This game is so stamina intensive, it better refresh fast. Like it better it is refresh faster. Oh, you get stamina from Expedition? Good. They better give you stamina from Expedition. They better give you twice as much, because it takes a long time to push these characters to 100. It takes damn near a whole week, man, with their weapon too. Or you could spend like, I don't know, 2,000 gems roughly to do it speed level way. So anyway, I complained about that. I complained about, above all else though, like the rapid releases, because they were trying to do anime tie-ins. One of them technically was the global launch. They did an anime. They launched the game the day the anime aired, and they did an anime tie-in. So that's low-key really good marketing to launch in the day Reno premieres in the anime, to launch the game, all that stuff. Can you imagine the fact that it's been already 2 months since then? Like, that's crazy, right? So they do that. They throw another banner in there to release Hoshina number 10, all that stuff when he airs in the anime, and tie in, and then that's also in an off day. It's just weird. And then they end the month with a double gacha with a festival 3-in-1. Very weird, very, very weird. But this month has been very tame. And that's one of the things that I really, going into this month, wanted to see, and I was very critical of that. Like, hey, if they keep this up, this is just bad. People are also, I think, misinformed with this game. I'm going to just say this really quickly. People went into this game saying, oh no, Tribe 9, that game lasted like 3 months. It's going to just flop. It's going to be a quick cash grab. They're going to come in, release it, bank on the IP, and then close it. I can understand being pessimistic, but I always thought that was a dumb argument, because it's not like Tribe 9 is the only game in their market that they've done, right? And it was also widely reported at the time that Tribe 9 also was closed down because, for one, it was that game was, I believe I looked it up the other day. They were like, I don't want to misquote, but they were like, I want to say $40 million in the hole with that game, something stupid, 20 million, something stupid in the hole with that game, and they cut their costs early, right? That's normal. And then lastly, it was reported that they cut that game faster to put resources into this game. So, and this is their flagship game, aside from, the Dragon Ball game, right? Like, obviously, but this is something that's actually under their banner. The other one's published by Bandai, so it's not exactly the same thing. So they put all their eggs in one basket, effectively. So they are going to do everything they can. And Tribe 9 launched, I believe, launch month for that game was $800,000. Yeah, no, not going to succeed, right? It was a fun game. It was a good-looking game. They just managed it poorly. And then with the original IP, they even said, why would people spend money on something? This is their producer, like their one of the lead guys over there said, why would people spend money on something they don't even know? Like, I was like, man, that's crazy to even think that or say that, right? Clearly, a lot of IPs that are out there as popular IPs didn't start off as popular IPs, right? Anyway, they put all their eggs in the basket. And this game did 8 million initial month, which is nothing crazy. But we're also in this era now where this game is like, most of its revenue is like 75%, last I checked, Japanese. We're in this era now where if the Japanese market is able to sustain a game's operational costs, licensing, etc., then the global market is basically effectively just extra income. There would come a time, there used to be a time where they would just cut the global market and say, whatever. It's costing us too much to localize these assets. And that's when the game's like really underperforming. That doesn't really happen as much anymore. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but I'm somebody that's been doing this for so long. I keep track of this. I've got like freaking like 24 gacha games on my phone right now. I'm not even lying to you. I was looking at this for like Disney Pixel RPG the other day. I'm like, dude, how the is this game even open anymore? Right? Like, I know the operation costs are nasty with the Disney IP. Like, how is this game even open? Last I saw, they made like $8,000 in the global market. I'm like, what the fuck did they do? It may not last much longer. But then I got to digging, and I'm like, man, like Slimy Sakai Memories. I'm going to give that game another shot. It's been a while. The global market is like not performing great. It does like $100,000, $200,000, you know, things like that. But it makes all of its money on the Japanese side. And that basically is extra money. That's all that is, though. If you're the company, it's basically a side hustle. You're making another couple $100,000, and all you got to do is translate your stuff. That's it. So anyway, I think this game, long story short, was given an unfair shake, and people were apprehensive, understandably, right? But I think that was misguided. Anyway, however, I said all that to say that if they continued that month 1 release schedule, then that would absolutely be warranted. I would and that didn't, for the record, that didn't help, right? That month 1 release schedule did not help. Dude, releasing all those characters put a real bad taste in people's mouth. That's another thing, too. If they continued that, though, that would have been a major problem. And so I was talking about that a lot at the time. I was arguing about that with people, and I was like, man, I can't really say anything about it, right? But I will say, though, that this game is performing much better than people give it credit for. And so on that topic, they need to figure out their release schedule, because they can't be doing these inconsistent, we're going to go through, unless that is their schedule, right? But we can't do 5 characters 1 month and then 1 or 2 the next month and 3-week delay in between, like weird things like that, right? Now, inevitably, with all these releases, people are always there's always going to be the subsect of the game that no matter what happens, no matter what comes to the game, will always scream pay to win. Those people exist no matter what the game is, right? They'll say, oh, I can't beat this without this. This is pay to win, right? And it's like, other free-to-play players will say the otherwise, but okay, go off, I guess. I've certainly seen that in my fair. And it's not one person. It's a lot of people. I've seen that before. And then I got to be like, hey, just do this, do that. Do you ever wonder why I say the same things in a lot of my videos? Because there's a lot of stuff like that I see in my comments. And then on a side note, if I tell you that I thought that they've handled this last month in terms of releases pretty well, I may get met with pushback. But they put 4,000 gems in the economy just a couple days ago. That's only a few multis, but they also put some tickets in there, right? At least one multi's worth for Gen's banner and then the other banner. The stupid shit about the tickets is another thing I criticize. Like, why the can't these convert into tickets? Like, why do you need a full 10? It's the most obnoxious thing ever. Anyway, I've criticized a lot. Like, I think some people think I just shill this game, and I've very openly criticized it a lot. I'm not new to this shit. Like, I'm one of the original Dokkan Battle creators. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I know what the hell I'm doing. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm talking about. But that being said, feel free to disagree. Anyway, for this character, I want to kind of get back to that because I went off on like a rant. For this character, I do wonder. There's a couple of things. So we're in the time now. They just ended, like literally just ended. Before the record, we need a couple months to find out what their release schedule is going to be for festivals. If every festival will be a dual festival, like I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't think they can all be dual. They manage Dokkan, so that wouldn't be the case. Dokkan does dual every like special occasion, and you can argue that the Steam launch was a special occasion. Fine. So dual festival, single festival, okay, right? Like, but how often are those going to be? What's the limited re-release schedule? Like, is Saga going to be here after this update for chapter 5, like what's gonna happen. And then lastly, like for the characters, Narumi was the #1 most requested character, but are we gonna get another character like Kikuru in terms of like a dimensional, like semi-original character, right? Are we gonna get something like, I don't know, Hoshino wearing a freaking purple number? I guess it's like, what, I don't know, like burgundy. What the fuck color is it? I don't know. Hoshino, let's just say blue, numbers weapon 10 suit. Are we gonna get that? Like, are we gonna see Kafka in some, I don't know. Like, there's a whole host of things they could do, right? I wonder how people would react to that. I feel like I've seen most people want to see like the actual series characters, because that's mostly the case. Like, I've seen a lot of people want to see #4 Kikuru for good reason, right? I do wonder if they would just release that next, just say whatever. But if it's a chapter release, it would have to have a tie-in, so I do wonder about that. Will it finally be Suited's time? I don't know. There's a couple other original characters that they haven't introduced yet in the story, like Suited, like Chester, like Sagan. There's a couple more, so maybe we get one of those characters. I do wonder if they would like to let them build up a little bit for a couple of chapters. I don't know, so people can get to know those characters more. But we're in the time slot that we got the festivals, so I don't think that they're going to run another festival on the heels of one literally ending a week ago, so that's another thing to consider. Narumi is limited, and so I do wonder how that all would work out overall. But with chapter 5's release, I do hope to see some other content added in here. Like, for example, with this update, we should get a either limited refresh or limited will just be done. Last time it refreshed and it didn't go away. It just refreshed. So hopefully a limited refresh. I would also like to see a large conquest refresh. Oh, this one's got 2 weeks left. Okay. Large conquest refresh would be nice, but maybe we'll see that at some point. Also, another raid. There's low-hanging fruit with a raid rerun. They kind of ran it twice, so they may have pushed it back as a result. Low-hanging fruit with that overall. But there's a few different things like that they could do and update in terms of that. Don't get me wrong, though. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I think this game still needs more replayable content. If you see anybody in the comments saying, oh, you're saying XYZ, but this game really needs comments or content, please just timestamp this to them. Don't hear what I'm not saying, bro. I have always said, I've literally always said, I think this game needs more replayable content. I don't know exactly what that is. The simple reality is they can update the game on this update day, put 5 new events in there, and honestly by the next day people will be telling me they're done. So what do you do if you're a game dev? What do you do? If you're looking to consume the content at that rate, what do you do? I don't understand. But certainly by the next week, even the casual players would be done with it. So like, I don't really know, but I think they need to find something. That's why a lot of games kind of turn to like a roguelite mode or something that requires heavy grinding. Like, that's why, is to keep you engaged for more than just a damn day. Because even these like fierce battles, the things they've been doing, they're cool and all. I'm sorry you guys just looked at the background here because I had my face cam on, so I figured it sufficed. So those things are cool and all, but people are typically done with them. I will say I've seen more people confused and stuck with the permanent stages, and so maybe that's what they need to do. I think that while people may not like it and it incentivizes people to cry pay to win, the difficulty increase is a blessing in disguise because it slows down people. It slows down people. I'm not going to lie to you. It slows us down a little bit. And that's also why the stupid stamina is such a problem in this game, is to slow your ass down, bro. That's why it's a problem, right? Unless you, and that's fine. If you want a speed power level, that's fine. You're free to do that. They've reworked the cost of refreshing gems and stuff like that, so it's not as taxing, but it's still really bad. But this is all like designed meticulously to make you log in. But ultimately, this game kind of devolves, and it's devolved to this for me, aside from my content. It devolves into you log in for a few minutes and you log back out, right? I want to say also, they also said that they're working on another expedition for my expedition believers. One thing I would do, just really quick, expedition is kind of fun, but it's extremely passive, so it's not, maybe they add more modes like expedition. I don't know. But one thing I would say is I would start sitting on these resources, things like that. Maybe there's a new character that'll be in there that you care about. sit on those resources and things like that, and maybe, I don't know, sit on your loot if you want to. I'm not doing that for any reason. You can sit on a bunch of things, but mostly just the resources overall and not go too crazy. Let me know your loot overview percentage. I have not been able to get some certain ones to drop, and it's extremely annoying. But it's very passive mode, right? But this is something they're working on another the expansion of this, so I don't know how far that would go. 2,000, 2,500, I don't know. But also, another thing I'd like to say while I have you, and we're talking about just the game in general, because this video devolved into something entirely different than what it was intended to be. Thank you, by the way, for watching this deep in. I would like to see more of this. Like, for the record, the news section is hilarious. Or no, not news. The help section is hilarious because it actually spoils several things in the game. But one thing that it kind of spoils, and this is a no-brainer, like, duh, this would obviously come. I would like to see bro in the game. He's in here. Where the hell is he at? Bro's in here somewhere. I would love to see bro in the game. Where's bro at, man? Oh, there he is. Bro's in the game. Bro is in the game. This is from his initial appearance, too, on that back alleyway, huh? Where he first fights Kaiju number 8. Bro is in the game. Kaiju 9. He's got the question marks and everything, so... actually, is he... He may actually already be in the game, though, right? He may actually be in the stupid memories. Yeah, he's probably already in the memories, to be fair. I don't remember this crap. Honestly, I didn't pay any attention to this one specifically because it's just a retelling. I do like the main story, though, but the memories, I don't know. But okay, anyway, whether he is or isn't the point. The point is that I would like to see bro as a playable character at some point. I would like to see bro as a boss fight. There's no reason that we have to keep fighting Kaiju 1, 2, and 10. Also, like, there's other kaijus, by the way, in between. Now, the tricky thing is we don't have visuals for several of those kaijus, so I wonder how they would do that. Like, could they get the author to design those kaijus fully? That could be something they could do. Like, do we have something for, like, I don't think we have anything for, like, half the kaijus in between, like, 1 and, like, obviously you could extend it out to the ones after 10, which, you know, just got reviewed in the last few episodes of the anime, excuse me. But the ones between 1 and 10, I don't think we have, like, half of them, like, at all. So that could be cool. So I think that, but this is stuff that's probably deep down the road. But just for example, these are some of the things that they can do at some point. We are the Defense Force, so I do wonder how or when or what it would look like for us to even get kaijus as playables, other than 8, of course. So we'll see what happens, guys. But overall, though, this video is about Chapter 5 coming out. Let me know what you guys think we'll be releasing with it. Follow me on X. That's the easiest way to interact with me. Also, follow my TikTok, linked down below in the description. Join my Discord, etc. Thank you so much. I will see you all in the next video.